The Power of Anger, Destruction and Redemption. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking the time to listen today. I stand before you not as someone who has mastered all things, but as one who has witnessed the powerful force of human emotions, particularly anger, and learned some lessons that I hope will resonate with you. Anger, in its rawest form, is a fire that can warm, can illuminate, and can bring light in dark places. But if left unchecked, it can also burn everything in its path, leaving behind destruction, ashes, and pain. We have all experienced it, haven't we? That feeling when something or someone pushes us too far, when frustration builds up and we feel a rush of heat inside, a tightening in our chest, the urge to shout or strike. In those moments we feel strong, justified. Anger feels like a shield, a weapon. We believe that it protects us, that it asserts our power and our position. But this belief is an illusion. Anger is not a protector. It is a destroyer. When we allow anger to dictate our actions, we tear down bridges, we sever relationships, we burn opportunities, and we damage our own spirit. Have you ever said something in anger that you regretted later? Perhaps you've shouted words that cannot be taken back. Or you've acted out of haste, making decisions in a moment of fury that haunted you long after. Anger clouds our judgment. It distorts our perceptions, leading us to believe that we are fighting a battle when, in fact, we are the ones who are lost. We hurt others, and often, we hurt ourselves. The wounds inflicted by anger, those words, those actions, that silence, can echo for years. There is a proverb that says, "A fool gives full vent to his anger, but a wise man keeps himself under control." But why? Why should we control such a powerful, all-consuming force? Isn't it a natural emotion, something we can't avoid? Isn't it just a part of being human? Yes, it is. Anger in itself is not the problem. It is a response to injustice, pain, or frustration. It arises when we feel powerless, misunderstood, or hurt. But here's the key. It is not anger that destroys. It is how we choose to act upon it. The problem with anger is not the feeling itself, but the unchecked reaction to it. When we let anger rule us, we forfeit our power. We become prisoners to our emotions rather than masters of them. So what can we do? How can we take back control? First, we must acknowledge that anger is an emotion, not an instruction. It doesn't tell us what to do, but it signals something deeper within us, perhaps injustice, fear, or unresolved pain. When we feel anger rising, we must ask ourselves, what is the root of this emotion? What is it that I am truly feeling? By naming and understanding the emotion, we begin to disarm it. We can take a step back, separate ourselves from the immediate impulse to react, and create space for a more rational response. Anger often arises when we feel cornered, so stepping away, whether physically or mentally, is the first step in breaking its hold. Second, practice mindfulness. In the heat of anger, we often feel like we're in a rush to act. We're in a rush to be heard, to express our pain, to fight back. But the truth is that reacting impulsively only fuels the fire. Instead, take a deep breath. Pause. Give yourself a moment to breathe, to reflect. The most powerful response to anger is not an outburst, but a considered, intentional action. In moments of fury, it's easy to forget that time is on our side. A moment of silence allows us to calm our minds, regain our clarity, and recognize that what we might think is the most important thing to do in that moment often pales in comparison to the consequences of acting impulsively. Third, understand that forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools in overcoming anger. We don't forgive others because they deserve it. We forgive them because we deserve peace. Anger keeps us chained to the past. We become imprisoned by our grudges, by the stories we tell ourselves about how we've been wronged. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or condoning hurtful actions. It means letting go of the grip that anger has on your heart. It means recognizing that holding on to resentment only poisons you. It's a freeing act, a choice to prioritize your own peace over the desire to seek retribution. And this release is not an easy one. It's a choice that must be made daily. Fourth, focus on finding healthier outlets for your emotions. Anger can build up over time if we don't find ways to express it constructively. Turn to physical activities like exercise, whether it's running, martial arts, or even just a walk. Physical movement helps to release pent-up emotions in a healthy way. You can also explore creative outlets, such as art, music, or writing, to channel your feelings. Creativity allows us to externalize our emotions, transforming the energy of anger into something productive and healing. Lastly, cultivate empathy. When we're angry, we often view things through a narrow lens, seeing only our own perspective. But the world is not as simple as we sometimes think. Try to understand the motivations and struggles of others. Ask yourself, why is this person behaving in this way? What might they be going through? Empathy allows us to see beyond the anger and recognize the shared humanity in all of us. It helps us to soften the hard edges of our emotions and approach others with patience, understanding, and most importantly, compassion. In closing, I leave you with this thought. Anger is not an enemy to be defeated, but a force to be understood. It will always arise in our lives, but we do not have to let it control us. We are the ones who choose how to respond. Let us remember that true strength lies not in the destruction we can cause, but in the calm we can maintain in the face of chaos. Anger may be a fire, but we have the power to be the water that puts it out.